Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shifts. Hope we are doing well. I'm doing amazing. So, this slid across my desk, and I'm seeing a lot of the outrage coming behind it. I'm seeing a lot of thesis statements coming out about this, and I'm confused. Okay, we're gonna go over this together to check the vibes here because we need a vibe check. All right. It's a content creator by the name of Deante Kyle from the Grits and Eggs podcast. And he has a clip going viral. I want to take a look at, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. And here go my phone ringing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and roll the clip. But before I do, ladies, you need to roll into my Patreon, okay? If you've been under a rock, you would not know. I have a women's only Patreon, and it is a great community of women, all different countries, walks of life, that get together and we enjoy my content. I have all type of exclusive content I do. We open up all type of helpful discussions to better yourself, okay? Focus on you. To better yourself, we have movie nights, we have get-togethers, we have money meetings, we talk about all type of thing. I get ready for all of my content on their live, so I don't gatekeep. I show all products I use, tips I use. You see my whole process, and while we're doing that, we have great, meaningful conversations. I would love to have you. Okay, if you tired of being mean and ugly, if you tired of being a base bitch, all right, come to death row, baby. I would love to have you. I ain't got no baby oil over there either. Okay, ain't no oil. All right. My God, let me just throw that out there these days. Woo! So I'm gonna pull the clip up. We're gonna take a look at what the brother said, and we're gonna go ahead and break this down. So let me pull this up like this, and let's press play and see what we got.
Are we defending Diddy and Tory? Why? Tory Lanez shot a woman. He's going to jail, nigga. Period. End of story.
That's it.
They have the evidence. That's the court of law. Oh, he sold an NFT and made $1 million. You know how many niggas was grifting and scamming and making money off them NFTs, nigga? Yeah. That shit was a one-time shot. He just so happened to hit that lick. Mm-hmm. He also just so happened to fire a gun and say, dance, bitch, and shot a woman, and now he's in prison. That's usually how that happens. Normally, if you shoot a gun and it hits him, first of all, let's not even talk about the fact that she tried to protect him.
Now, I'm matter of fact, I'm going to put my video I did years ago on Tory Lanez, and I'll put that for the end of this video. Now, with what he's saying now, I'm going off of what this man is saying, okay? I just had to X the video I did on Ryan Clark with the whole thing with RG3, and I had to X the video because I was going hard for him, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Then they exposed him, got a white baby mama. I said, ooh, let's just focus on the message, all right? So I don't want nobody, do not hit me up about this man. I don't know this bad, okay? We gonna focus on what he's saying right now. My God, today, okay? My God, today. Sometimes they be embarrassing us. You go hard for them, they find out, yeah, white, Asian bitches. I'm like, ooh, let me just be quiet and eat my rice. I'm on some we'll see with niggas at this point. So when I did my video before, I said, you know what? I find it weird that you're playing the boy who cried wolf with your own life. All right. Do we know that factually and systemically Black men are targeted and at risk by the system to be set up? Absolutely, we do know that. All right. But see, you really shoot us in the foot, no pun intended. You really shoot us in the foot when you cry wolf and it's because the Black man's successful. He tried to break us down. It really put us at a disadvantage when you pull that card, when that is not at all what's going on. All right. So I know y'all ain't bringing up NFTs. I ain't heard that one yet. I'm glad I didn't, because I'm trying to maintain some type of faith in humanity. please stop the cry wolf thing. It's not helping anybody. It's the same thing when you all say, oh, so many women lie about SA. All right. And we as women can hold other women accountable and say the number one reason why that is irresponsible is because it does mess it up for real victims. But when you have a Black man who is just simply carrying out the consequences of decisions that he made, and you do all the trying to bring a Black man down, you make us look crazy. Okay, you make us look crazy, and you make that argument look obsolete and look like something we just throw around when we don't. So I do agree. The free Tory is like, free Tory, they're trying to take on a Black man is like, what?
The nigga.
Yeah.
We always fail to mention that. It's her mission to tear. They're using making the territory down. She was trying to protect the nigga. Like, what?
Trying to hold a nigga down.
She's trying to hold him down.
Facts.
They're being held accountable. They're not being torn down.
Hey.
Free Diddy is crazy.
To be outside the courthouse with a free Diddy shirt on.
First of all, no. We really have to address this. You niggas, like the level of hatred that you have for women is a little alarming. It's scary. Because sometimes these are men with wives. Sometimes these are men with daughters.
Hey.
You have to address whatever issues you listen, bro. You got to address whatever issues you have with women. You got to figure it out. Because I don't want, first of all, we may be speaking in an echo chamber, but we know that these clips going to go online. As far as this podcast goes, I don't think any man that's listening to me is thinking like this, because we've been here long enough to establish, like, we don't go for that shit.
Facts.
Because that's not how you build community. You don't build community by constantly excluding people. If you want a He-Man Woman Haters Club, say that. That's what you got Aiden Ross for. Niggas, first of all,
And I'm going to be honest with you. This is part of the problem. When I started my channel years ago, I said, I want this to be a common ground. I don't want this to be all men on this side, girls on this side, like we at a damn middle school dance. I said, we need to stop the weird, like, man versus woman thing, take away from the bigger purpose. And the bigger thing is it's supposed to be a Black people versus everyone else type vibe. Okay. The other side, there is no such thing as equality and peace with them. All right. When you are factually, scientifically, genetically weaker and recessive, we can't be friends. We can't be friends. And it's not personal. Okay. This might sound weird. I don't fault people. I don't fault the whites for being acist, Ray. I don't. I'm like, as you should be. If I was the weakest species on this planet, I would do the same thing, because survival is first. So I don't sit there and come down on them for how they look at us, how they operate, how they keep themselves ahead, as you should. Because the minute you even try to be equal with us, you already know what we gonna do. So you are correct in surviving and self-preserving in the way you do through systemic racism. I'm all here for it. But the problem lies when we turn away from that and we fall into the trap that we really been falling for a long time. They went from ripping us out the bed with each other to Jim Crow to crack in the hood. And now they gave us podcast microphones. Okay. The podcast microphones have done more damage than the crack in the hood. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, it's done more damage, because now it has turned into this dangerous place of pandering that, oh, I want to go over here so this person can tell me that everything is the woman's fault. We got people looking for places to feel better about their mediocrity, feel better about their lack of relationship skills, feel better about their lack of self-awareness. So you got men pulling up to places for someone to tell them that, yeah, everything's the woman's fault. You bore nothing in this. And the women want to pull up to places to say everything's the men's fault. And it didn't happen because you're dark skinned, and it doesn't matter about your looks and your size. It matters, we deserve love. And that's what the microphones have caused. Okay, first they had us going for the substances to escape and make us feel better. Okay, and then they said, you know what? Dang, they're catching on to that. They're catching on to that. What can we do next? What can we do next? Figure it out. oh, I know what we'll do. Instead of having you have a substance that you can go to make you escape from your reality, what we'll do is we'll put people and platforms in place that's where you can go. And not only will that be your form of escapism, but it will encourage further lack of awareness, further blame games. Nothing ever gets solved with the blame game. So now we have, through all these people trying to make a buck, all these people who have literally admitted, I have seen and heard it with my own ears. These people that have these platforms where you can go to be told that everything the man fault, everything the woman fault, they laugh at you all. They laugh at you behind the scenes, and they like, I tell them what they want to hear because that's how I get my money. It's too late now. The bag is on the way. That's what they come here for. They laugh at you. They laugh at you. The system of white supremacy laughs at you. Everybody sit back and laughing. And what you fail to realize is when you sit as a man and you defend crash outs like Tory, I was astounded. So much, we are truly in a reckoning. I don't know at what point we're all going to stop being so reactive to every piece of news that come out and when we're going to accept we are in a reckoning. All right. We had went a wrong direction. Okay. We went in direction for a while. The men was like, we want to be heard. We ain't never been heard. We want our voice to be heard. And that went too far. And I am literally seeing just in divine alignment how they are attempting to get us back on track with the men. Instead of wanting to be heard, finding solutions, looking at the part that they play in it. I've said for the longest, we got too many women speaking on men and too many men speaking on women. If men are too afraid to stand up to each other, to say, to go against the status quo and say, hey, I know that majority of y'all are saying that, but that ain't right. That is them inadvertently admitting that you don't want to even deal with each other in that way, but you expect women to. We've always needed it to be set up of women counseling other women, women holding each other accountable, women saying, okay, I want for my sister what I want for myself. As I'm learning and growing, I also want you to learn and grow. We should have been doing that. And somehow we let them people distract us into this man versus woman. All right. And so when we see the Shannon Sharps, the Diddy's, the Torys, the R. Kellys, and we see all this happening, and it's just our men, the first thing is said is, well, the white man do it. Listen, the white man creates his heaven. He can do what he want to do in it. That's his. It's super weird to want to go into another man's heaven that he created and be like, well, how come he got to? Because it's his. A lot has happened in these past few months that we all just simply cannot unsee. We cannot unsee the majority of digital footprints that are now out defending clear abusers. You know, when the whole thing with Shannon Sharp came out, I was astounded. Men I know, men I thought was my friends, men. And I'm watching them and Shannon Sharp comments talk about, it's okay, Unc. They try to take you down. It's all right. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like this. I can't unsee this. We're not going to act like we ain't see it. So let me get this straight. So you don't know that man. You don't know what that man doing behind closed doors. You ain't even take the time to have a case come, have evidence be presented. You ain't leave time for none of that. The minute you saw Shannon being taken down, it went straight to free he innocent. And all that means that you see yourself in him. All them men that have had all them time where they thought about that time where they gave her too many drinks and told her just a tip, or can I give you a massage, or can I just do this? But they really went the whole way. Now they all think about that like, ooh. And when you see someone else get held accountable for his actions, now your first reaction is to say, he ain't do it, but you're projecting. You just showing that, baby, you see yourself in him or something close to it. So that's why your first reaction before you've even had any real evidence, you ain't even take a minute to even see what's going on. That's why 90% of y'all, it was a good 90%. I didn't see any men in majority saying, oh my God, Shannon Sharp, you on your own. You asked for this, is what you wanted. Blase squad. I didn't see that in majority. So when all this happens at one time like this, it means we're in a period of revelation. I'm not going to sit and ignore the elephant in the room. I myself have been a victim of men, literally not one soul. Let's go ahead and launch a campaign to attack Six, put her in danger, dox her, try to sick stalkers on her, try to put out her information for love. Matter of fact, to defend a white woman. So all this stuff is happening. This is for a reason. And it's happening so publicly. It's happening in front of everyone for a reason. This has went left. People jumped on the whole everything is women's fault thing for a bag. And they have perpetuated and validated abusers' lack of accountability. And now the consequences are coming out in real life. All right. And when we see majority of men immediately jump to defend abusers, it automatically means that majority of men are abusive, period. That's just how it goes. So now once it's been revealed, we're not going to act like we never saw it. We need to address it. That means we need to have a serious conversation. Everybody defending Tory, first of all, Tory is the exact type of guy that you want to avoid. Everybody knows men that have something to lose, unfortunately, you got to have a lot of self-control and let a lot of things go. A man with something to lose, a man that's not a crash out, he can't react to everything that happens. We all know where that gets you. Men that have something to lose tend to play it cool, kind of be under the radar, let a lot slide, because you already know every altercation is an opportunity for you to lose everything that you got. So you have someone like Tory who has multiple times on record been a crash out. He the type of man that when you have a nigga like that around, everybody is at risk all the time. A crash out, an impulsive, responsive, angry little man. Where if you was to hang out with him, if you was to be around him, with a man like that around, everybody is always at risk of being dead or in jail. So this is a crash out, a man that cannot control himself, a man who is very emotionally irresponsible. The type of man, first of all, let's just put it there, as he said, it wasn't even making that press charges. This is what I mean by the immediate defense without even looking into things, which once again tells us that you're just the same type of person. That's why you're defending it. Is those Beverly Hills neighborhoods, I hope I'm going to hold y'all hand with a glove when I tell you this. They are self-governed. They got their own police, justice system, attorneys, judges on speed dial. And if you come into these neighborhoods with this real money, with all that rah-rah, especially as a Black immigrant that's a felon with a weapon, they're going to make an example out of you one way or another. They got the money. They come together. Their HOA hit different. They live up there and pay that money, live there for a reason. It's about safety protection. So let's go ahead. I wish I had my whiteboard. Grown man can do whatever he want to do. That's my motto. I don't police no man, but man can do whatever he want to do. And if and when the consequences of that come, I also say a man will deal with that on his own. Man can do whatever he wants. So let's go ahead and look at this. Let's take Megan out of it. Tory Lanez, Black, immigrant, felon. You would think that if he is in the richest, whitest zip code in the country, in the mountains, with little tiny roads where you're trapped and can't get in and out, with all the whites very protective of their expensive neighborhoods. If you know you're a felon, you have something to lose, and you have a loaded weapon, why would you be engaging in anything that can draw attention to you or cause altercation? Okay. Real niggas that even might be felons and have to still keep that thing on them, they James Bond, they Inspector Gadget. They don't want no problems. They quiet. They mind their business because I don't want to draw no attention to myself, because yes, I may have a felony, but I'm still keeping that thing on me because they fly under the radar. They in the back. They quiet. They don't want no problems because they respect the game. They understand what it is. But once again, a lot of times you got them immigrants, I got to say it, who come here and think that Black stuff is not a real thing. And they think that because they get some money that they are now in proximity to whites, meaning they are equal and accepted by them. And they think it's a game. They come to our country and we like, oh, you can't go in the Beverly Hills neighborhoods with all that rah-rah. They're not going for it. Even if Megan said, no, don't do it. Even if Kelsey said, I'm the one that did it, it wouldn't matter. You the felon, you got the gun in their neighborhood. You should have been quiet. You should have been diffusing situations. But you are an emotional crash out. You cannot do it. And now you're inevitably facing. So I know niggas got 20 years for being a felon with a pow-pow. And you, a felon with a pow-pow, causing a ruckus in the richest, whitest area code. Be so for real. Talk about free Tory. What? Man, okay, let's hear the rest of what Buddy got to say, because now he bringing up Aiden Ross. Don't even get me started on that. And the way that y'all let that white boy speak on Black women, DVD let Aiden Ross tell his Black mother of his child to shut the F up. Wow. Do your findings. Treason. Draconis. So let's see what else the brother got to say. But this is ridiculous, boy. Show their ass out here. I promise you that.
To let him get the disrespect of that nigga. When I see you,
it's on.
It's a lot of it's you know what I'm saying. Y'all ain't seen niggas like us.
Now that's my kind of carrying on. That's part of the problem. Is these. Let me tell y'all, I say this all the time and I'm going to keep saying it. Let me tell y'all when I knew that things was going left. I knew things was going left when Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors was hugged up in that picture. I knew then when Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan was hugged up in that photo, I said, oh, and I was like, what is this? Somebody come look at this. And I couldn't believe how many niggas in the comments saying, they're just showing each other love. So y'all are happy when Black men are fighting each other and killing each other, but you're mad when they love each other. And I was like, so your bitch could take a picture with her coworker like that? So your bitch could be sitting there and the coworker come put his head on her shoulder and his arm around her, and it would be like, babe, what's the problem? I'm just taking a picture with my coworker. No, you'd flip. All the women saying they're just showing love. So I can take a picture with your nigga like that. So your nigga say, oh, that's 6. Can I get a picture? I can say, yeah, and put my head on his shoulder and put my arm around him. No. And you know why I can't? Because it's a romantic pose. Everyone will say, well, what's a gay pose? What's a gay pose? Shut up. It's a pose where if a nigga pose with your bitch like that, you'd feel uncomfortable. You'd be ready to move some furniture. It's a pose where if I took a picture with your nigga like that, you'd feel uncomfortable. You'd feel like he might not come home. That's what it is. And now we all act like we ain't know what an intimate pose was. And when I saw so many people defending that, I said, uh-oh. It's going left. Okay, now we got too many men like, they on the internet talking too much. Man, what happened to the good old days where niggas disrespect each other? They handled it like men. Even when it comes to sports, they can't even touch each other no more. I don't get it. As a man, yes, there's sometimes you're going to have to get jiggy. That's why I hate seeing a man in public in flip-flops and shit. Man, take them flip-flops off. What if you got to get jiggy? These new niggas be so scared, like, oh my God, I don't want to ruin my career. Man, please, sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes. And especially when it comes to treason against your community. Okay? Especially when you're under a threat. All right? So now I'm with this. This is my kind of carrying on, because I've been said that I do what I do because what's going to happen? What's going to beat my ass? Bitch can't beat my ass. Y'all need a real bitch like me. Y'all need a real bitch like me. And if y'all can get through the initial, she thinks she better than me. She thinks because of her aesthetics that she's better. If y'all can get past that, if y'all can get past my Florida cadence and I just talk very raw, listen, boy, we winning over here. Boy, we got the answer. Boy, we doing good. Boy, we're evolving. We're improving. We're doing good. All right? So sometimes it get like that. I'm with that. All the treason, all this weird stuff going on. Men got daughters. You got daughters, sisters, mothers. And the more, what's that clip that just went viral of the Chico sitting there talking to the sisters, calling them every type of black N-word bees. And it's 3 black men sitting there laughing and repeating it to the women, making sure they heard them. This is getting bad. And the more that society sees as there's no consequence behind this, the more of a joke we become. The more of a risk your daughter is at. The more of a risk your sister is at. The more of a risk your mom is at. Women who sit and gaslight men into, yeah, you're not wrong in these situations are super weird, because every single one of us women, we never know the day or the hour. Every day there's a woman going to get in her car and someone slipping over her head. Or there's some on her car to kidnap her and throw you in the back of a white van. Every second of the day, there's a woman getting thrown in the back of one of them vans. It could be any of us any day. So you women that sit there and validate abusers, like, yeah, you ain't wrong. You are a weirdo. Because, girl, it could be you. You weird ass bitch. Dang, is the economy that bad? Funds getting that low? That you willing to put yourself in danger for $1? My God, today. So that's what I'm talking about. Yes, let's start moving some furniture. The disrespect, we need to see that. Because when examples are set that, okay, if you do this, there will be a consequence to you, then your daughters are safer. Then your mamas are safer. Then your sisters are safer. Then your wives are safer. Okay, that's my type of carrying on.
If I'm gonna keep it real with you. Keep it real with you, son. You ain't seen a lot of niggas like me before, okay? You seen rappers.
Yeah.
You know, you seen crash out niggas that fake tough guys. Those niggas like top 5 that like to get on the internet, talk a lot of trash. We don't do that. I'm telling you, when I see you.
And the cousins coming. The cousins are coming.
I'm gonna treat you like my mama used to treat me. I'm gonna get you for the old and the new. Why?
I swear it by the old gods and the new. So now, once again, I don't see what all the rah-rah is about. Okay, I'm lost. Okay, well, so apparently all the backlash is, oh my God, he's a panderer, he's wrong. Like, what part about this is wrong? Okay, I'm not understanding it. All right, so I'm going to show you all some of the responses that came after them. And this response in particular was so funny to me because it's satire, but it's kind of not, because it's like, well, when I'm looking at what the niggas is saying about this is dead ass what they saying. Like, I know he was saying this as a joke, but dead ass, this is what's happening.
They should have never gave you niggas microphone. He a CIA informant. My daddy beat my mama ass for 50 years and they still together. I knew something was off about them two. It was all good until they start protecting these hoes. Random women ain't safe around me. Big ice cup, we talking about you too. Stay your ass at the airport. Kevin Samuels was right. We finna send your ass back to the truck. They should have never gave you.
This is actually sad. Like, it's like kind of laughing, but kind of not, because that's dead ass what they were saying. And it's like, what do we say to that? Like, what do you say to that? Like, what do you say? Like, I'm to the point now, when I see that, I automatically assume mental illness. And then I'm like, oh, I am not arguing with you, because you don't even have the mental capacity to get what I'm saying. Once I see stuff like this, I begin to check out as fast as I can. I'm checking out, okay? Because I already know there is no winning. So then I see this guy, and this is when I said, my God, today I said, this is like, wow. I was like, this is getting intense. So I see this guy. Somebody please come look at this. First of all, the bonnet and the robe really told me a lot of what I needed to know. If I would have scrolled and I saw like this thumbnail, I'm not even listening to the video. I ain't gonna hold you. If I scroll and I see this, I'm like, well, immediately I'm moving forward because I sense the sass already. Because it's one thing, you know, sometimes you got locks of certain styles, you might do that. And it's one thing to do that like in your bedroom alone. It's another thing to put this to come on a TikTok video like this as a grown man. Like, wow, there's a lot going on here. So, but we're gonna listen to what he has to say because this is why, you know, this is why we having a problem we have now. This is an example of why we need to get back to it being a us versus them instead of a black man versus black woman, because you just start making stuff up at some point. At some point, you just start grasping for straws to find something to say. So, warning, I'm warning you now, cringe level 10,000. Okay. Don't say I did not warn you. My God, today.
It's really like opened up a train of thinking for me, and I really got to get this out. It seems as if women want to perfect the social environment instead of existing within it. And what I mean by that is like, imagine a hunter goes into the woods and instead of accepting the fact that there's bears and mosquitoes and old trees that might fall and dangers, instead of him accepting that, he starts complaining. Why are there bears out here? Oh my God, why are the mosquitoes biting? Instead of choosing to stay indoors and go live in the city and buy your meat out of a market. Follow me. I'm a bad person if I say, if you don't like those environments and the negative things that come with those environments, stay out of those environments. I have never been to a club in my entire life. I have never been to a strip club, a hookah lounge, a bar in my entire life. I have lived a very intentional life. I went from my mother's daycare to elementary school, to middle school, to high school, to college, and to work. Within there, I was a little gym ratty. I played sports. I did this and that. That's how I got my social interaction on. And that's how most people do get their social interaction on. We have these very large conversations about a very small amount of people. And again, I just do want to reiterate, if you don't like the negative experiences that come along with like the environments you like to be in, don't try to change said environment. It's too big. There's too many variables. There's too many people to depend on lining up with your personal moral code. Instead, remove yourself from said environments. Why am I having a conversation about what happens at the club? Why are we regular people with 9-to-5 jobs having full-blown discourse and conversations about what happens when a woman rejects a man in the club and he like, you ugly anyway, bitch? Why are we talking about that? Most of us don't even participate in that. Most of us, I would like to say that if you're a married man, woman, why the fuck are you in the strip club, the club, a bar? What are you do? Go to a nice dinner. Sit at the house. Be grown. I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm tweaking. This whole Deante Kyle, men are accountable for the men who are terrible bullshit is really like open.
Man, now, once he said his mama daycare to straight to elementary school and never had a real social life, a lot makes sense of how, sir, you can't read the room. Okay, very feminine, very sassy here. I'm sorry, I cannot ignore it. Okay. If I close my eyes, I would think that was an old black church lady talking. I'm gonna be honest with you. So as I observe him, I'm seeing why he would say this. Okay, this is weird. Okay, this is a super weird response to everything that's going on. First of all, notice the immediate sassy dismissal, because women do that. You can give women a whole a whole thing about something, and they'll reduce it down to, so you think you're better than me, so I'm ugly, so I don't deserve. And it's like, my God, I just had a whole nuanced thing for you, and all you heard was that. It's so weird. So on the Grits and Eggs podcast, that's an 1.5-hour episode. And that's so interesting to me that in an 1.5 hours of a monologue discourse, what you got from that is, yeah, all men are responsible for the things that other men do. Like, that's what you got from it. Like, you didn't listen to the conversation. You're not looking at the context. You went straight to defensiveness because you felt that you had to be accountable in some type of way. You went straight to that. All right. So now all I heard was this. All I heard was, men are not going to change. It's never going to happen. They're not interested in changing. They're going to be abusive. They're going to be attacking. They're going to be harassing. So if you don't like it, go in the house and never come out. That's all I heard. When the men, and you wonder why we're having the problems we're having, when the men even are like, hey, these things ain't going to change. Y'all don't like it? I suggest y'all just stay home because they're not changing. You're literally proving the point, sir. You're proving the point. Then everyone's so mad when women are like, oh, we'll choose the bear. Yes, I would also choose the bear. No, I do not want to be alone with a man with no accountability. I don't. At least I know the bear. As long as I don't mess with the bear, it probably won't mess with me. I grew up in Astor, Florida, in the middle of Ocala National Forest. Them bears would come right out to our trash can, look in there, they'll look right at you on the porch, like, what up? And keep moving. All right. Unless we in Antarctica and it's a polar bear, I give you the bear. But you put me alone with a man, just me and him on an island. Do I trust he's never going to touch my vagina? Absolutely not. Oh, he's coming for it at some point. And there is no other man there to hold him accountable. Oh, I'm definitely going to end up sex slave. Hell no, I don't want to be with no man that's me and him. Just be him. No, I don't. I do not. Okay, they need systems and more people to hold them accountable. Imagine if there was no system to hold them accountable for great or taking what they want from us. Being a woman, you are literally walking around with like the damn, what is that thing? What's the movie I just watched? And they said, we need the cube. Like, you walking around with the damn vibranium right here. And you're literally throughout your day just hoping that no one try to take it. Like, what on earth? You see what I'm saying? So when the men say, if you don't like it, you should just stay home, all we hear is, we're never going to change. We're not interested in changing. We're too scared of each other to call out that we need to make a change. And as you can see, throughout all of these revelations and all these men being taken down, as you can see, we all see ourselves in them. So we're going to defend them. So that's also not changing. That's all we hear. At the end of the day, you the man. You are the leader. You are the head. And when the head is like, sorry, we can't fix it. Oh, well, don't like it, stay home. Well, you can't say anything. Okay. When the women responded, we're over here like, we hear you loud and clear. These past few weeks, I've been writing down, like, oh, Lord, there goes so-and-so defending all them people. Like, well, we don't know, guys, be careful. Okay, that means you did something similar. All right. Okay, got it. Because I don't get it. Okay, we're not exempt. We as Black women, this is why majority of my content is about how we got to stop being fat, Black, bonnet-wearing baby mamas. We got to stop it. We have to stop in majority hype me up Black women, just big fat with no man, pregnant with no ring on their finger. We got to stop saying, oh, girl, you think you fine. And then when they erect statues looking like Shrek of us, we get upset. Okay. Yes. What other Black women do? Yes. We got to be accountable for it because we are Black women. So that's why we do work to talk to other Black women and say, hey, stop eating so much. Hey, go to the gym. Hey, take that freaking bonnet off. That's why we do that, because we understand, yes, we are accountable for what others do. That's why in my work, I say these women have been married 15, 20 years and they fat and look a mess. You should be ashamed of yourself. Because now the girls nowadays are having issues getting married because the men are scared that you're going to fall off and get fat like that. But it's too late. They love you and you locked in, so they just stuck with you and got to find a woman they can find a cheat with to fulfill their real desire. So yeah, we hold them accountable and say, y'all got to stop bragging that you've been fat for 20 years and your man been there 20 years. You got to stop doing it, because you fucking it up for the other women that want to get married, and men are like, hell no, because 5 years in, after she has a kid, she's never going to lose the weight. She's going to be, I'm going to be stuck with a whale. It's going to be giving SeaWorld the rest of my life. So what do you mean? How can you have majority of men run and say, now we don't know what happened with, did he free him, free Tory, now free he innocent? So you're going to have to be accountable for majority of men running to the defense and seeing themselves in it before even getting any facts or evidence. Yes, every group is accountable for what majority of people in their group do. And here you are, a grown man cried about that. So sassy. Oh, so I guess we're just accountable for all. If you scared of other men, just say that. Just say that. And if you scared of other men, that's fine. But when women take whatever extreme measures they take to protect themselves, it's going to have to be it, because the eyes have been awakened these past few weeks. If some of y'all, I was so disappointed to see y'all reaction. The immediate, oh, she lying. Oh, she this. Immediately, I'm like, damn, we ain't doing too good. Okay, so then when you do have a brother, again, I'm not vouching for this brother. I have not done my research, so do not get in my comments with a story. But what I'm saying is, when you finally do have a brother speaking up and going against the status quo and saying, yo, what is up with all this? What is up with the hatred of Black women? Facts. I don't understand it. Why is it such a big deal to say, okay, majority of people, even maybe if it includes you in your group, need to work on something? Why is that something to take so personal and fight so hard? You know what I'm saying? That's the part that upsets me. We need to get back to the real focus, which is we are at war. We ain't got time to coddle your feelings. If it's things we need to do to get better, to do better, we need to just do it. We ain't got time to tiptoe and say it the right way, at the right angle, and the right day so that you feel better about yourself. We can't keep doing that. All right. And seeing the backlash here is extremely disturbing. I'd like to see more conversations like this. The men talking to the men, the women talking to women, and us just speaking on what's right and wrong. Not, oh, I'm a woman, so I want it all to be the man's fault, or I'm a man, so I want it all to be the woman's fault. Man, that stuff is lame. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's super lame, and only lame people who never leave the house shouldn't even think like that. Like, please go touch grass, go to therapy, forgive your mama, forgive your dad. It's time to move on. It's weird. You are a heterosexual Black person. Yeah. You want to mingle. Yes, you want to get along. Yes, you want to understand the opposite sex. It's literally homosexual behavior to sit and only look at your own sex as human and take their side and completely not relate and not care about the opposite sex. That's homosexual behavior. Even being indifferent to the opposite sex is homosexual behavior. Heterosexual is an interest in the opposite sex. When we're dismissing each other and blowing each other off, oh, that ain't this, that ain't that. We got to get back to some order. We need men taking the lead. We ain't got time for men on the internet all day crying about their feelings, crying because you can't get a bitch to listen to you and treat you right. I'm dead. That's on you, baby. You got to figure it out. I was just watching Pop the Balloon last week of a brother on there, 5'7". There's 10 women in the line who all said, we don't like you. We don't like the way you're talking to women. We don't like your attitude. We don't like your aggression. 10 women are telling him, we don't like this. And he's sitting there arguing all of them on like, well, you should. That's what I'm talking about. That's how this stuff is manifesting. Now his desire to express himself surpasses the heterosexual tendencies. They're all telling you this ain't it. But you so worried about winning the war. And he was like, yeah, y'all gonna get it today. Because you want to get an applause from other men. Like, yeah, you showed them, when all the women are saying, hey, we don't like this. That's homosexual behavior. Listening to other men like, yeah, my wife want me to communicate and be transparent. Oh, what? She wants you to be communicating, be transparent. She want to control you. What you do is, I literally saw a man saying, what you want to do to humble woman, just don't talk to her yet. When she want to communicate and all that, when she want to sit and work things out and all that, no. Instead, what you do is give her complete silence, really break her ego. And I'm like, wow. this is not looking good. The women are saying, hey, we need communication. We need time from you. And when a man says, no, she don't respect you, she's trying to control you, you go listen to him. So what it comes down to is we need to get back to what the focus has been and should have never gotten away from. It's us against them. It's black man and woman against them. Okay. And call it a day. We need to understand how we got here, and we need to be moving forward, solution oriented, be accountable for your own hits. Okay. You don't need to sit and keep doing all this, baby. Focus. What do you need to be doing? Okay. If you're going to speak on it fair, speak on it both sides. And people need to stop lining the pockets of people who are dividing our community in complete and utter nonsense. All right. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I can't believe the brother is getting all this backlash. Like, I don't see, like, what's the problem? Where's the lie? This is insane to me. Y'all, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll see y'all on the next one.